ground position was right on the northwest tip of St. George, and they found a life ring, they found a fuel slick, they found debris indicative of a crab boat going down. No life rafts, no survival suits, no nothing.
Did they get off a Mayday?
It doesn't sound like it.
Captain Sig Hansen just heard the most terrifying news a captain could ever get. Jeff and his team suddenly disappeared off the radar, headed towards the northwest tip of St. George. Rescue teams rushed to the spot and found only a life ring, a trail of fuel, and bits of wreckage, signs of a sudden, horrific accident. No flares or survival gear were found, hinting that disaster struck instantly. What terrifying force could wipe them out so quickly? Let's dig into this urgent mystery and find out what really happened. The mysterious disappearance of Captain Sig's crew. After they lost contact, rescue teams rushed to the area and found some disturbing signs. They saw a life ring, a slick of fuel on the sea, and bits of debris. This suggests the boat ran into serious trouble, maybe even bad enough to sink it. Worryingly, they didn't find any emergency supplies. Normally, you'd expect things like flares or survival suits, which are crucial in rough conditions. The fact that these items were missing means the disaster must have happened so fast the crew had no time to react.
February 11, 2017, the Coast Guard has received an EPIRB distress signal from the fishing vessel destination, approximately 1 mile west of St. George.
Adding to the mystery, no distress signal was sent from the ship, which is what you'd expect in such an emergency. This missing signal makes the situation even more complicated and raises more concerns about what happened to Jeff and his team. Trying to understand this can be really tough, especially for those close to Jeff and his crew. Feeling sad, scared, confused, and worried is completely normal. Talking about these feelings and supporting each other is really important. It helps people deal with the personal impact of the tragedy and cope with its broader effects. But this isn't the end of the story. As the community deals with this loss, many questions remain unanswered. What exactly happened to Jeff and his team? How did things go wrong so quickly without any warning? Rescue teams are still searching the sea, hoping to find more clues that could explain these puzzling events. This incident shows just how unpredictable sea journeys can be and how important it is to be prepared. The lack of emergency gear is especially concerning and raises serious questions about the safety measures on board. It also points to the need for strict adherence to safety standards to prevent such tragedies in the future. But that's not the whole story. In the wake of a heartbreaking tragedy, the community is coming together, offering strong support to the families who are dealing with this huge loss.
Heavy seas and 40-knot winds have forced Captain Sig Hansen to an early offload.
You've got all the whitewater breakers coming up on that jetty. So you got to surf your way in and then turn 90 degrees to get into that place.
Local groups are organizing candlelight vigils and support meetings. These gatherings provide a place where people can share their grief and find comfort in being together. This show of solidarity is very important in helping those affected start to heal and find some closure. Though many questions are still unanswered, experts are working hard to examine the wreckage and look at the last messages sent from the ship. They are trying to figure out what led to the loss of contact. This investigation is important not only to give answers to those missing their loved ones, but also to improve safety measures for other ships in the future. The incident has started a big debate about how to keep sailors safe. It reminds us of the dangers on the water and the need for strict safety equipment and rules. In community meetings, people are discussing ways to prevent such tragic events in the future and ensure all vessels are ready to handle emergencies. As we wait for more updates, the importance of a supportive community is clear. Coming together to share the latest news and comfort those directly affected by this tragedy is invaluable. Moments like these really test our community bonds. Staying informed and participating in community support activities can help us cope with and understand the impact of the events. The sea holds more stories as we continue our search, the continuing search for Jeff and his crew. The search continues, and there is a collective hope for Jeff and his crew, hoping for good news despite the grim situation. This dreadful experience reminds us of the sea's unpredictability and the importance of being prepared. It also shows the strength of communities when facing such uncertainties together. While we keep looking for answers, the shared hope and efforts bring some comfort during these tough times. This situation has also led to new initiatives in various communities to improve safety training and emergency response strategies. Workshops and seminars are being organized to teach people the skills they need to handle emergencies at sea effectively. These educational efforts aim to empower individuals, raise safety awareness, and ensure everyone knows the importance of emergency protocols. As people face this tragedy, stories of survival bring hope and show the strength of the human spirit, inspiring us all. But this wasn't the end of the challenges we faced. People often find stories about being lost at sea fascinating. These tales aren't just about surviving. They show the incredible strength and spirit of people.
I tell you, they find somebody alive.
One such story is about Jose Salvador Alvarenga. In 2012, he and his friend Ezequiel Cordoba went on what they thought would be a normal fishing trip off the coast of Mexico. But a violent storm blew their small boat far out into the open sea. With no engine or way to communicate, they survived by eating raw fish, birds, and drinking turtle blood. They also collected rainwater to drink. Sadly, after 4 months, Cordoba died because they ran out of food. Despite the loneliness and harsh conditions, Alvarenga managed to stay alive. After 438 days, he reached the Marshall Islands, surviving the longest time lost at sea in history. Another amazing story is about Tommy Oldham Ashcraft. In 1983, she and her fiancé, Richard Sharp, were sailing from Tahiti when they hit Hurricane Raymond. The storm was so strong it flipped their boat, and Ashcraft was knocked unconscious. When she woke up, Sharp was gone, likely taken by the waves. Alone and drifting, Ashcraft showed incredible resourcefulness. She survived on the canned food left on the boat and used an old navigation tool called a sextant to find her way. After 41 grueling days, she was rescued by other sailors near Hawaii. Her story shows human determination and cleverness in tough times. Louis Jordan's experience is just as moving. In 2015, with little sailing experience, his boat capsized off the coast of the United States. He didn't give up. Jordan caught fish and drank rainwater to survive. This simple but effective method kept him alive for 66 days until a German ship found and rescued him. His story highlights the power of hope and how fate can change unexpectedly.
Is it a real-life version of Castaway? That's what the world is trying to figure out after a man claims he spent more than a year adrift in the Pacific Ocean.
The story of Tony Bullimore is especially dramatic. During the 1997 Vendée Globe race, his yacht flipped over in the cold waters of the Southern Ocean. Trapped inside the overturned boat, Bullimore survived in a small air pocket, fighting hypothermia and dehydration. He rationed a single chocolate bar over 4 days, showing his incredible will to live. His experience as a Marine helped him stay calm until the Australian Navy rescued him, capturing the world's attention. Another well-known story is about Stephen Callahan. In 1983, while crossing the Atlantic alone, his boat sank, leaving him on a life raft for 76 days. He survived by catching fish and collecting rainwater. Callahan later wrote a book about his ordeal, providing deep insights into survival strategies and the psychology of being lost at sea. Next, we see the human spirit shine against the toughest seas, tales of survival at sea. These stories show that the human spirit is incredibly strong and adaptable, especially when faced with the harshest conditions. They remind us of the resilience we all have within us, even when hope seems lost. The resilience needed to survive isolation was truly tested in 1989 with the story of William and Simone Butler. Their sailing trip turned into a nightmare when their boat was badly damaged by whales, making it impossible to sail. They had to escape on a life raft. For 66 days, they survived by fishing and turning seawater into drinking water using a small device. Their constant efforts to fix and keep the raft afloat were key to their survival until they were finally rescued. In 2005, the ordeal of Salvador Ordóñez, Jesus Vidana, and Lucio Rendon, 3 Mexican fishermen, showed incredible human endurance. After their boat's engine failed, they drifted in the Pacific Ocean. For 9 long months, they survived on the fish they caught and the rainwater they collected. Their faith and support for each other helped them stay alive until a Taiwanese fishing boat rescued them.
3 fishermen from Mexico ran out of gas and spent 9 months adrift before being rescued near the Marshall Islands.
The disaster of the USS Indianapolis in 1945 is one of the most tragic sea incidents. The ship carrying parts for the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima was torpedoed by a Japanese submarine. Around 900 men ended up in the water, facing extreme conditions like dehydration, exposure, and constant shark attacks. After several agonizing days, only 316 men were rescued. This disaster was later referenced in the popular movie Jaws, bringing its story to a wider audience. These stories, though from different times, all show the amazing human spirit and the will to survive in the vast, often cruel ocean. Each tale not only grabs our attention, but also teaches us about the strength people can show in extreme situations. The sea tests everyone's strength, but some stories of bravery and dedication leave a lasting mark. The finest hours of the United States Coast Guard are full of incredible bravery and heroism. One standout moment involves Douglas Munro, the only Coast Guard member to receive the Medal of Honor. During World War II, at the Battle of Guadalcanal, he used his landing craft to shield over 500 Marines, helping them evacuate under intense fire. His actions showed tremendous courage and deep devotion to his fellow soldiers. In February 1952, a massive storm hit Cape Cod, causing 2 oil tankers, the SS Pendleton and the Fort Mercer, to break in half. The rescue mission for the SS Pendleton is especially famous. Petty Officer Bernard Weber and his small team of 3 faced 70-foot waves in a 36-foot lifeboat to save 32 of the 33 men stranded on the Pendleton. This daring act is still remembered as one of the Coast Guard's most heroic small boat rescues.
And out of those 230,000 servicemen who served on both oceans in World War II, only one Coast Guard member earned America's highest military award.
Another inspiring person is Ida Lewis. She took over as the keeper of the Lime Rock Lighthouse in Rhode Island after her father had a stroke. Over 39 years, she saved 18 lives. Her dedication was so strong that the lighthouse was later named after her. The rescue of the HMS Bounty during Hurricane Sandy in 2012 is another remarkable story. As the storm raged, the sailing ship began to sink off the coast of North Carolina. The Coast Guard used an airplane and helicopters to save 14 of the 16 crew members, showing their bravery and skill. Nathan Bruckenthal is remembered for his ultimate sacrifice. In 2004, while in the Persian Gulf, he was part of a team trying to board a suspicious vessel that exploded, leading to his death. He became the first Coast Guard combat casualty since the Vietnam War. During Hurricane Katrina in 2005, the Coast Guard rescued over 33,000 people. Their quick action and tireless efforts highlighted their crucial role in disaster response. Now we celebrate the brave souls of the Coast Guard and their daring rescues. Endless ice, endless courage. Back in 1897, the Coast Guard was involved in a daring mission when David Jarvis, Ellsworth Bertholf, and Samuel Call traveled 1,500 miles to save whalers trapped in the ice of Alaska. Facing harsh winter conditions, they also connected with native communities along the way, earning Congressional Gold Medals for their bravery. The journey was filled with challenges, from freezing temperatures to treacherous terrains, testing their endurance and determination. Throughout these stories, the Coast Guard's dedication to saving lives and their incredible bravery shine through, showcasing their vital role in protecting and serving in times of need. Captain Joseph O'Doyle is an important figure in late 19th century rescue missions. As the keeper of the life-saving station in Charlotte, New York, he performed many rescues during severe storms. His bravery earned him the Gold Life-Saving Medal. To honor his contributions, a Coast Guard vessel is named after him, showing his lasting impact. These stories show how dedicated the Coast Guard is to its mission, always ready to act with courage and honor. The men and women of the Coast Guard show remarkable bravery and dedication in their work, from their historical missions to their daily duties. Knowing how to stay safe at sea can be the difference between life and death, an important lesson for everyone. This story highlights not only the heroism of people like Captain Doyle, but also the enduring spirit of the Coast Guard. They uphold their principles of valor and honor in everything they do.
We are approximately 190 miles outside of Nome, escorting the Renda. Making about 5 knots, doing a direct assist right now.
The Coast Guard's commitment goes beyond individual acts of heroism. Every day, they perform countless tasks that keep our waters safe. Whether it's rescuing someone in distress or ensuring safe navigation for ships, their work is crucial. Each member plays a vital role in maintaining the safety and security of our coasts and seas. Imagine being caught in a storm at sea. The Coast Guard's swift response can be a lifesaver. They are trained to handle such situations with skill and bravery, ensuring that everyone gets home safely. This dedication is seen in every mission they undertake. The challenges they face are immense. From battling harsh weather conditions to navigating dangerous waters, the Coast Guard deals with risks daily. Their ability to overcome these challenges speaks to their training and resilience. It's a testament to their unwavering commitment to their duty. The stories of Captain Doyle and others remind us of the incredible sacrifices made by these brave individuals. They work tirelessly to protect us, often putting their own lives on the line. This level of dedication is truly inspiring and deserving of our deepest respect and gratitude. Getting lost at sea is a very tough situation, but if you're ready, know what to do, and stay calm, you have a chance to survive. The ocean is huge and full of surprises, but being smart can help a lot. Here's a simple guide for anyone who finds themselves lost in the ocean. First, make sure your boat is in good shape. Look at the hull for any damage. Check the deck and propellers to ensure they are fine. Inspect all belts, cables, and hoses for any wear, and replace anything that looks worn out. Double-check the fuel system, connections, and hoses to ensure they are secure. Fill up fluids like coolant, engine oil, and power steering fluid. Next, do a technical check. Make sure devices like GPS, map plotters, and radios are working properly. An EPIRB, emergency position indicating radio beacon, is essential. It can send out a distress signal if you get in trouble. Pack a survival bag with essentials like flares, food rations, a first aid kit, flashlights, and a portable radio. Keep life rafts and fresh water easy to reach. But there's more. Surviving at sea is tough. Let's learn how some have faced these challenges. Strategies for staying alive at sea. If you find yourself in a tough spot at sea, the best thing to do is stay afloat and dry. Hypothermia, exhaustion, and dehydration are big risks. Wear a life jacket or hold on to anything that floats. If you have a lifeboat, get on it quickly. Staying out of the seawater is crucial as it can cause many health issues. You can only survive a few days without water, so gathering it is very important. Collect rainwater using anything you have. It could be a cup, a piece of tarp, or even your shirt. If you have a solar still, use it to turn seawater into drinking water. Do not drink seawater or urine. They will make you more dehydrated. In a desperate situation, the blood from marine creatures like turtles or birds might help a little with hydration. Food is the next concern. Fish are the best option, and you can catch them using makeshift fishing gear, like ropes and metal pieces for lines and hooks. Seaweed, plankton, and seabirds might also be on the menu. If you can dry fish, it will last longer as food. Dealing with the elements can be just as challenging. The sun can be brutal, so protect yourself with any clothing or shelter you have. Try to stay in the shade during the hottest parts of the day to avoid sunburn and overheating. The cold can be just as dangerous, especially at night. Keep yourself warm and dry to avoid hypothermia. Another important aspect is keeping a positive mindset. Staying hopeful and focused can make a big difference. If you're with others, support each other and work as a team. If you're alone, remind yourself that people have survived these situations before, and you can too. Remember, signaling for help is crucial. Use flares, mirrors, or even brightly colored clothing to attract attention. If you see a plane or ship, try to make yourself as visible as possible. Signals like SOS, 3 short, 3 long, 3 short, are universally recognized distress signals. The ocean can be very unpredictable. Storms can come out of nowhere, and the waves can get very high. Try to stay calm and secure yourself and your supplies as best as you can. Ride out the storm by staying low and holding on to something sturdy. After the storm, reassess your situation and make sure everything is still in order. But this isn't the end of the challenges. Keeping track of your supplies is crucial. Ration your food and water carefully. You never know how long you might be adrift, so make sure you use everything wisely. Keeping a routine can help you stay sane and focused. Mark the days and keep track of time to avoid losing hope. Having a shelter is really important to protect yourself from the weather. If your raft doesn't have a cover, you can make one using plastic, sails, or even clothes. This simple shelter will not only keep you safe from the heat or cold, but can also help you collect rainwater, which is very valuable at sea. Spotting signs of land is a big deal. Look for lighter colored water, which might mean shallow areas, or changes in wave patterns that suggest land is nearby. Birds flying in a steady direction in the evening often point to land. Other clues like driftwood or floating plants can also mean you're close to land. What do you think made them vanish all of a sudden? Tell us in the comments, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more.